Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Face2Face here on our Facebook page, eKartingNews.com. My name is Rob Howden, joined by David Cole. I'm up here in Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. David, of course, in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We have another one of our shows lined up here for today. Another one scheduled for Thursday, but we don't really know who it's going to be yet. We have a couple people that we're working with kind of on the in the queue, if you will. David Cole, we're into another week. It is May the 19th. I think we can take a deep breath with the fact that a number of tracks have started kind of rolling, whether it's been practice, testing. We've had some races being run as well. So finally, things starting to open up a little bit. The karting industry starting to get rolling again.
Slowly but surely, as we keep saying, we got to keep taking those baby steps back to what we want to get back to, which is reality and normal life. Being able to go where we want, when we want, being able to go across the borders, as we kind of talked about in the pre-race show. So we're slowly getting there. Again, we're in uncertain times. We're not quite sure exactly what's going on with this virus. We're still learning each day, each hour about it, and what we can do and what we can't do, and just certain factors that go into being able to go back to the racetrack in certain areas of the country and other countries as well.
One thing I would throw out there, obviously, we are going back to the track, and I know that there's obviously personal responsibility for all of us that are going back to the racetrack. The tracks, the clubs, they can do the best they can, of course, in trying to make sure we have social distancing. We spread the pits out. But there's also just some personal responsibility that everybody has to take. When you go to the racetrack, especially now, believe in the extent of the virus or not, or how it spreads, whatever it may be. If there's certain parts of the population which it kind of attacks more. The bottom line is right now we're trying to respect and take care of our friends and everyone. When you go to the racetrack, you're also, David, I think people need to understand that we're under the watchful eye, right? The tracks that are opening up right now are under the microscope. So when they're putting these COVID-19 procedures in place, everybody needs to do those and more. When you're at a race somewhere, don't bring your grandparents with you. Don't bring the whole family with you. If you're not racing, don't go to the track. That's the bottom line here right now. Go to the track with the mom, the dad, and the kid, or whatever it may be, right? Let's keep a small amount of people. I've heard rumors about all these people coming out to races and people high-fiving each other afterwards. Yeah, maybe that's okay. But again, we're under the watchful eye of county governments and health officials. We just have to make sure we're smart so that everybody gets to open up.
Well, again, there's kind of two parts to that. The first part is we got to look at from the top down in a way. I mean, NASCAR opened up this weekend.
Yep.
No fans. We have never seen. Now, mind you, some people joke that nobody goes to NASCAR races anymore. But the fact is that their grandstands were completely empty. And we saw all these drivers wearing masks. We saw crew members wearing masks. We saw, people, doing their social distancing as much as possible as you can within racing, within the racing scope of things. And, so that's got to trend down to what we're doing in karting as well. And I think we're starting to see that. Challenging Americas is one that's saying, no, you get one pit pass per driver.
Yep. So
the driver and somebody else, unless you're a minor and you have the ability to have a parent and a mechanic or two parents, and that's it. And Pat's Acres, they allowed nobody in the paddock unless it was a mechanic or a parent. Same situation there. So we're, Newcastle is kind of the same way as well. I'm not quite sure if they have a limiting number on that, but there's no spectator area. So you're either in your paddock or you're at the fence. So there's a lot of things that we're learning from all these different racetracks around the country. But the other thing too is that when you're in racing, you have you're in race mode, and you're going to high five somebody after something happens that's really cool. And it's just spur of the moment. It's just that natural instinct to show emotion. And I mean, okay, so give somebody a high five, but put some hand sanitizer on right away. I mean, we're all doing it. We're all going to grocery stores, getting groceries, and then we clean our hands, sanitize our groceries, clean our hands, and just follow those steps in order to keep from things spreading. And that's the biggest thing. So it's just, wash your hands more and more, keep the hand sanitizer handy, limit the contact that you have with people who are outside your family.
But take care of your immune system too. Let's talk about that. Get outside, roll around in the dirt a little bit, right? Get some sunlight, get some vitamin D. Take care of yourself.
Jump on the trampoline, go do walks, mow your grass, do yard work.
That's it. All right, well, let's jump into it now. We've kind of talked a little bit about kind of where we are, what's going on. Of course, as you folks know, we have a lot of content coming out here on eKartingNews.com. David is continually updating our COVID-19 track status update article. We kind of put that out there every day for people to click in on. You're able to see your track. If your track's not already on there, contact them. Tell them to contact us. We'll be able to keep things updated. David's continuing to work on that so everybody knows when we're going back to racing. We're going to find out actually first and second person about what's happening in Bermuda right now, because we have joining us here today Scott Sketchy Barnes and David Barbosa. Of course, Scott Barnes from the Bermuda Karting Club has been a driver we've seen come across here to run a lot of races in the U.S. David Barbosa has been coming to the Supernats, among other things. He's CRG Bermuda and has been really, I think, one of the major players in helping to grow the Bermuda Kart Club with his rental kart program and rental race kart program as well. So we're going to bring them on there right now, David, as they're standing by out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean looking. You guys could smile.
What's up,
Like
man?
literally, you live in Bermuda. You could smile. There, that's better. Guys, how are you?
We're good. How are you guys doing?
We're hanging in there. I'm going crazy, to be honest with you. I know you guys are probably the same. David Cole hasn't had a chance to drive anything. I haven't had a chance to drive anything. Let's start first and foremost. We'll come and talk more about how you guys got into it. But what's the status of the Bermuda Karting Club right now?
We stopped racing back in March. Actually, it was the same weekend as the first SCUSA Pro Tour, because I was actually at the Pro Tour racing, and that's when everything kind of went crazy. And that next week, we were scheduled to race in Bermuda, and things got locked down, and we've been
locked down ever since.
The track's been closed since then.
What is it? Is it 65,000 people around that on the island? Something around there, right? So how are things COVID-19 coronavirus wise? You guys have flattened the curve. Have you shut things down pretty much so far? Would you say?
Bermuda shut down. The airport's closed. Cruise ships stopped coming in. So we've been able to control it pretty good. I think we're up to like 127 cases, 9 deaths, unfortunately. But the numbers coming in every day have been good. So we're in a four-stage reopening system, okay. And Thursday we moved to stage 2. So
where does the potentially opening for practice or something like that at the track come back in? Is that stage 3? Is that stage 4? Where are you guys thinking about when you're able to get back racing again?
Yeah, actually, well, our season was scheduled to finish this past weekend. Okay. The track actually opened this past weekend, Saturday and Sunday, for limited practice. All right. So we were able to go down there Saturday and Sunday and get at least jump in a cart and have a drive, which was nice.
All right, let's get started. I want to kind of introduce both of you guys to the EKN Nation. Of course, they're tuning in now here live on Facebook. Of course, those of you who are watching know that we put this up on YouTube as well. So all of our face-to-face videos and interviews are available on YouTube. And then, of course, we turn it into a podcast for the EKN Radio Network. And those of you who subscribe on iTunes or Google Play. Let's start with Scott Barnes, better known as Sketchy, of course. Scott, let's talk about how did you get into karting? How did you get into the sport?
I started when I was 12 years old racing. When I was about 10, my dad actually bought me a fun kart. Little dirt cart that I used to drive around my neighborhood and have fun with. And then when I was about 11, Bermuda Karting Club started back up. They were on a hiatus for a few years, no track. So I was interested. Obviously, I had fun driving my fun kart. Yeah. So the first year, I actually drove my fun kart around the track for half the season. Got my ass handed to me because I got dirt tires and a little Briggs and Stratton motor. But as soon as I got on the track, I knew this was my sport and something I wanted to do. And the next season, my dad bought me a real go-kart and been doing it ever since. 23 years later, I haven't stopped.
Wow. That's pretty amazing, because if you think about it too, obviously you say you got your ass handed to you driving that yard cart around for a year, but you've gone on to win a number of championships. Let's talk about the number of championships you've won, but also most recently inducted into the Bermuda Motorsports Hall of Fame as well, correct?
Yeah. So like I said, I've been in Bermuda for 23 nonstop years. It's been a long time. Been able to win 15 championships here in Bermuda. Wow. So lucky enough, I've had a good team behind me throughout the years. And then last year, the Bermuda started the Motorsports Hall of Fame. and was inducted into that for karting. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Now, okay, so you're over in Bermuda. You're a young kid getting racing. You've turned into a younger adult, an older adult, and you say to yourself, "Hey, you know what? There's racing outside of the island here." When was your first foray coming over here? Because you obviously come on a regular basis. You've been winning races, championships, that kind of thing over here for many years. But what was your first foray coming to the U.S.?
Yeah, so I started racing in the U.S. when I was 15. Actually, a good friend of mine, Jason Scuzzy North, who raced a lot in the States before too. He went to the Rock Island Grand Prix. I believe 2000 was the first year he went, and he actually flew his kart from Bermuda to Rock Island Grand Prix, rented a car, a truck. Him and his mechanic went out, raced the Rock Island Grand Prix, and they loved it. Obviously, you guys have done Rock Island Grand Prix. You know, it's an awesome weekend.
Yep.
So he came back, and he's like, dude, you got to come with me the next year. I was 15 years old, just getting into a shifter kart. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm in. So the following year, we said we're going. We actually did a road race before Rock Island in Putnam Park. That was my first race in the States.
Wow.
I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember, walking up to the front straightaway with Scuzzy and watching these karts go by in practice doing 110 miles an hour. And we looked at each other like, what the hell? Like, what did we just get into? My first race ever in the States, pretty much one of my first shifter races, and I'm doing 110 miles an hour.
Wow.
On a road race. But loved it. I think Scuzzy actually won a race that weekend. And then we drove to Rock Island the following weekend and raced Rock Island. And from there, I was hooked.
You guys, see, listen, you have pretty much the same span as me at Rock Island. I want to say the first race I ever announced was just the shifter class. Bobby Wilson's dad gave me $100 to announce the shifter car classes in 1999. But I remember announcing and saying to myself, who the hell is Scuzzy? What the hell is a skitchy? Like, who the hell are these guys from Bermuda? I did, we become very, very good friends over the next 20 years. But yeah, I remember you guys coming over like, who the hell are these guys? But they're fast. Yeah. You guys were good out of the gate, were you not?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that road race, Scuzzy won a race. I've been lucky enough to win Rock Island 4 times. Scuzzy's won there twice. We've had some good finishes there, and we got some talented drivers on this island. For a small island, there's some fast guys here for sure.
Well, I would have to say this, and I'm sure David would probably agree with you. One of the reasons why that is the case is because they get a chance to run against you and Jason, you and Scuzzy. Because when obviously you get better racing against good drivers. You, of course, are one of the top drivers in the country. Anytime you come over here, almost on the podium last year at the Super Nationals, 6th in the category. So you obviously help guys raise the bar a little bit. So kudos to you on that. Let's move to you, David.
Yeah,
we got 23 years with the guy sitting beside you here in Skitchy. When did you first get into the sport, and how did you get attracted to it?
I actually got into it pretty late. I got into it when I was probably about 17, and I had watched Scuzzy for some time, and then I knew him for quite some time. Watched him race, and then I just got one of his old karts. He was selling it. And I just fell in love with it. That was it. And ever since, never turned back.
Where were you guys racing at that point? I know after this, I want to get more into the history of the track and the club. What was the track when you started, David? Where was the track located?
Okay, that was up at the old annex base. It was the old U.S. Navy base.
Okay.
And it was all concrete. It was very abrasive. It was very bumpy. But at the same time, it was competition. And some of those guys that were there were really good. So once those few years had gone by, the base had shut down and we were out of a track for a few years.
Okay.
And then we started working on things, getting a new track involved. And from there we got it.
Yeah. We'll talk more about that in a second. So you start when you're 17, you kind of get rolled into this thing. Somewhere along the line, you decide you're going to start bringing go-karts in. So you become the CRG importer distributor for Bermuda, which I think is obviously such a crucial thing. Obviously, it's tough to get parts and equipment into Bermuda. You're paying a lot of duty when you're bringing it over there. You bring everything over from I'm assuming from Italy. Can you talk about your relationship with CRG and how that kind of started?
Okay, that started probably about 8 years ago. Got a secondhand kart, and then from there we just we got new carts right afterwards. I've been dealing with the factory right off from the factory. I've been dealing with Nicole for quite some time. Anytime that we guys place an order, we place it. We have everything by emails. Any technical issues that we do have with carts, there's a one-on-one communication with them. Parts, they're really, really good. I can order something today, within the week, it's here on the island.
That's awesome.
So it's the only problem. The only downside is the cost side. When you bring anything into Bermuda, you pay a duty. It does get expensive, but the experience on the whole operation of it, it's really awesome. It's really awesome. They're first class operations over in Italy. This is probably my third time going there to the factory, getting some training with them. So it's been a one-on-one communication with them. It's really been.
That's obviously great for the sport in Bermuda to have someone with that much connection to a manufacturer, for sure. We'll jump back into CRG Bermuda in a couple of minutes here. I just want to learn more about the actual club itself. David, I know you probably have the same questions. What is the history of the club? Tell us, when did it start, anyways?
Okay, so I'm actually doing a history book right now.
Perfect timing.
for the karting club to get our Hall of Fame up and running. The club, Bermuda Karting Club, actually started in 1976. A man named Duke Soares, who did a lot of racing back in the day, overseas in cars. He was a huge racer here on the island, huge racer internationally in cars. Him and a handful of guys actually started the Bermuda Karting Club. Back then, obviously, I wasn't around, neither was David. They did one-off races, a lot of dirt racing, a lot of just one-off races, and then
Hill climbs.
Yeah, hill climbs. And then kind of when David got started, the club bounced from track to track. We never really had a set track. When David was saying when he was 17, when he started, they had the annex base for a number of years, and then the club got shut down for I don't know how many years.
Maybe about 5 years.
Yeah,
that long.
There was just no place to race, no track. And then government actually gave us a permanent. Well, it's permanent now, but it wasn't at the time. We've been there. No, we went to the triangle track, which is a 3-turn track. That's when I started.
Wow, 3 turns.
It was literally a triangle, 3 turns. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. We had that for 2 or 3 years, and then that got extended into a 5-turn track for maybe a season, and then we lost that track. That got shut down. We bounced to another. I think we went back to the base for a season.
Wow.
Lost that. Then we went to a parking lot, temporary track, for maybe 2 seasons. And then we finally got where we are now. We've been there for about 13 years. Great facility now that we've had government hooked us up really good.
Talk about that. Rubis Southside Speedway. It's at the airport, right?
Yeah, so it's right at the end of the airport. Yeah. It's a great facility. The track's just over a mile long. We actually go-karts race there, and then the street bikes race when we're not racing. Yeah. And then right across from it is a motocross racetrack. So all 3 motorsports race at the same complex. Pretty cool. So yeah, we've been there for the last 13 years, and it's been great.
So give our listeners a little insight. Is the class structure? What kind of classes do you guys run in Bermuda?
You good?
So we have 2 junior classes. We have a cadet 60 from 7 to 12, and then we have tag junior from 7 or 12 to 15. Mm-hmm. Running the tag junior program, and then we have 4 adult classes. We have a tag 125. And then we have the shifter 125. And then 3 years ago, we started the 206 class. So we have a 206 senior, and then we have a 206 master. And
the 206 has been a pretty big thing. I know that, David, you've kind of come in there as well with some arrive and drive opportunities, but the 206 really has been a kind of a solid thing to give you guys some base of drivers. Am I correct?
Yeah, we started that 3 years ago, and just like the States and Canada, it's grown. It's actually, this season was our biggest class, 12 strong in the 206 senior class. It started off slow. Obviously, I think we started with
10, maybe
not even 3 or 4 the first season.
Yeah.
We started it off as a master's class for the older guys that just want to come out and have fun. fathers and the mechanics that want to come out and have fun. Yeah,
Wait, we all are now, right?
That's it. We all are.
right? I'm racing masters in the States. But no, it started off as the fun class that the older guys come out and just have fun, cheap. You guys know the 206 class is an awesome class. And then, the racing instinct kicked in and everyone wanted to be more competitive, more faster. And then the second season, 2 or 3 more guys got into it. And then this past season, like I said, it was our biggest class in the karting club.
That's awesome. So let's talk about, you obviously, of course, Sketch kind of lead the way in terms of running over in the U.S. Are there more club guys that are thinking about coming to the U.S. with you to run some big races?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a handful over the years that have gone away and represented really well. Obviously, I've been racing since I was 15 out there. David's gone to Supernats 2 or 3 times. I think he's ran Rock Island once. Like I said, Jason Scuzzy North raced Rock Island a bunch of times. Has done a bunch of other. He actually started off when we were starting when I was 15. He was big into the road racing. 2 or 3 seasons road racing, pretty strong. Won a couple championships out there, which is really awesome. And then over the past few years, we've had Niall Bean has come out. He's a little junior driver. I think he's 14 now.
Yep.
Gone out there a bunch of times, done a lot of races. We've had Brandon Franks gone out there and represented well.
Yeah, no doubt.
He was on pole at Supernats and S2.
That's it. Yeah.
4 or 5 years ago.
Yep.
So, I mean, yeah, every time we go out there, we do represent well for what we are on a small island. The hardest part is coming from this small island where our track here is night and day compared to any track in the States. Very abrasive track. There's no grip. The rubber doesn't get laid down like it does in the States. So it's night and day racing here and then going away and racing on a quote-unquote proper go-kart track. Not that our track isn't proper or anything, but the grip level is totally different than the stateside.
Very, very abrasive.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do you think that helps you going road racing and street racing? Because there's really not a lot of grip, especially in street racing. Do you think that helps kind of the transition? Because, every Saturday morning we go to Rock Island, there's completely no grip whatsoever.
Yeah, I think our track definitely helps us when we go race on a track that has a lot of grip, because here we have to jive so much harder to find that grip. I mean, I remember when we went to Italy last year with, we had 4 kids that were 14, 15, 16 with us, and that was their first time in the States at a real track. And we were walking on the track, and the shoes were gripping to the track. There was so much grip. We're like, what's this? It's like, this is a real good track. So, I mean, it's harder for us, but at the same time, I feel like it makes us better drivers. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's just really hard to seat time wise as well. We don't have nearly the amount of seat time that most guys have when we go out there and compete at these big national races. So just not having that seat time is key for us or for them.
Yeah, because typically you guys only race once or twice a month, if that, and then you guys shut down for a certain period of time. Yeah,
we race September to May every other week. So we have a 15 race season, which is pretty long, but we only race on Sundays. It's not a 2-day event.
But you can still go down and practice during the week. It's just get costly on tires, fuel,
right?
Stuff. So I mean, at the same time, if you want to be good, you got to practice.
Yeah, that's true.
Just like anything else.
Yeah.
Let's jump back into the CRG Bermuda program, because David, I want to talk to you a bit about the rental car program. When I came over with you guys for the Dockside Grand Prix, you had your CRG Centurion carts, your rental carts there, and we did some rental racing, which was fun. But you also then started the 206 rental cart program so that people in Bermuda wanted to come and try the sport. They could jump into a rental cart that you guys had put together. Let's first talk about the program itself. So you decided to bring the rental carts in. How do you utilize the Centurion carts, the CRG rental carts?
Okay, so what I do is basically I evaluate kids, adults, whatever they are. I get the kids, whatever age they can. I start them at about 6 years old, and then I move them up. So what I can do is I have adults that come in, we get them out, they have fun, and then I watch them progressively. So we have a couple sessions out on the track, and then we can just get better and better and better. Times, So it's just basically managing the kids and adults all in one group. So we can do it all.
Are you based right at the track with all your stuff?
I've got 2 containers down there. I've got all my equipment, everything down there.
So and what about, so what all can you provide too? Because I know David and I are always talking to guys when we're at tracks and say, hey, if you want to have a good time, if you want to have a bit of a karting vacation, get a hold of the guys at Bermuda. Head over, take the family to Bermuda, have some fun, hit the beaches, golf courses, whatever it may be, but you get some racing in as well, and you have the arrive and drive for them to do that. Do you provide absolutely everything for them if they want to come and drive?
Everything you got to provide. Everything is covered. You just show up. We have a beach. We have a beach right across. If you want to have your girlfriend or your wife that wants to go to the beach, you can go to the beach, and you're doing go-karts for the rest of the day.
Literally, you can walk across the road, and there's a beautiful pink sand beach, crystal clear water. So, I mean, David started the actual arrive and drive race cars last season.
2 years.
2 years ago. So basically, you can show up on Sunday morning. It's cheap too. It's only $200 plus tires. He provides everything: gas, suit, helmet. You can show up and race with us.
These are brand new carts.
Yeah,
brand new carts, brand new engines. Everything's all top of the line.
Man,
definitely, it'd be nice next season to get some international guys to come down. I mean, because our season kind of runs when the U.S. is not racing. We run September to May.
Yeah.
So all the guys that get the snow and stuff. Perfect destination. Come to Bermuda for the weekend. Your wife or your girlfriend can hang on the beach while you race a go-kart on Sunday. I mean, what better vacation as a racer can you ask for?
I like the idea of that. I think David could bring Renee over, but I think Alicia would want to get in a cart and kick my ass. That's the only problem, right? She wouldn't want to be on the beach.
That program has actually been great for the club. This season, actually, David had 4 or 5 guys full time. So getting away from the international guys in Bermuda that can't afford to buy a cart, they can come down, do David's rentals for $200 a day, and still racing. David maintains them, does all the hard work. These guys just show up on Sunday.
Show up on the race day.
And
that's a great deal.
So, I mean, it's been great to try to grow the karting club, get new guys into the sport in Bermuda, guys that are interested in karting that want to try it. It's perfect for the Bermuda Karting Club to try to grow it.
I love the fact that you guys kind of bring everyone in together as a family. I wrote about it and talked about how great that club was when I went to the dockside race, because it just felt, being in the paddock, like it was just a big family. Everybody was having a great time. The racing was tremendous, but the sense of community there, I think, was amazing. And that's why I want to segue into you getting a bunch of guys together and going to the CRG 24 Hours of Italy. You talk about you come over here to the U.S. and North America to race, but you guys went to Italy to run that CRG 24-hour race. Talk about that experience a little bit. How was that?
That was one event that will never be forgotten about. So we had some of the teenager guys that were good. We had all handpicked. And so what we did is me and Scott, we worked together. We made a plan. We had to have training sessions. We had to go to the gym. We had running sessions. Everything that we could do to improve our ability. We did track time. We did as much as we could. We went over to Italy. I think we had 8 guys, 7?
8 drivers.
8 drivers.
And there was 20 of us that went. I mean, mom's dad, a couple mechanics. Yep. It was awesome. I mean, David's not doing it justice. It was a trip of a lifetime, especially I've been racing cars for 23 years, been racing in the States for 20 years. And to be able to go race in Europe as a karter, there's some badass guys. That's where racing is awesome. To be able to go out there in Italy and race against these guys was awesome. For David to put that together, I mean, it was first class. That track, Adrena track, is amazing.
Yeah,
facility is amazing. CRG put on a world-class event with that 24-hour race. Hands down, one of the top highlights that I have in karting.
So we had other plans as well. We also we had spoken to some of the other drivers that came with us. What we planned is a one-on-one session at South Garda. A couple of them were in shifters and some were in the OK engines. We got the whole afternoon session out on the track.
Wow.
It was incredible. And that was all through CRG. they actually put on the top class.
Yeah, got to do a day at the CRG factory touring. That they gave us a full tour of the CRG factory.
Man.
That factory is first class. I mean, you can eat off their floors. Their factory is amazing. So yeah, it was definitely an awesome trip. Something that we'll all remember as drivers for sure.
Is that going to be a one-off thing, or do you guys think maybe you want to go back again and maybe took what you learned and try to apply that to the next experience?
Yeah, definitely. Everyone wants to go back. We were planning on going back this year. Luckily, it kind of hit. It obviously got canceled with the COVID, so it kind of worked in our favor. The last minute, we ended up pulling out. But I mean, all drivers wanted to go back. I think we're definitely planning on going back.
Definitely going to plan on for this season when they introduce if they're going to be doing the 24-hour for this year or next year. We're going to be in for it again.
I mean, we got out there kind of blind. We had never done anything like that. 24-hour race. We didn't know what to expect. We were one of the only teams without radio communications in the helmets. So, I mean, we were holding up signs to pit and stuff. We learned so much in those 2 days that when we go back, we will be a lot better. I think we ended up placing 29 out of 40 teams. We ran in the top 17 to 21 for a lot of the race.
We had technical issues.
Had a couple bad karts that were slow. Had a couple bad pit stops. A couple penalties that cost us. So we learned so much racing that race that when we go back, we will be a lot better.
That's awesome. Let's get back and talk a little bit about Bermuda. We'll kind of cap things off with that. We'll see if we have any questions coming up on our comments as well. One of the cool things about Bermuda, you guys have talked about the fact that you've had different tracks, some issues where the track was going to be. You did some parking lot races. You finally got the track south side up at the airport. But you guys have also done a bunch of street races as well. You've done a race right in downtown in the capital of Hamilton. I came over for the race at the Dockyard event. That was kind of during the whole what's it called, America's Cup, right? So all the boats were all docked there, and so they built that pier, the man-made pier out there. We were talking about, you guys were talking about potentially having a race there. Are we going to see another street race coming soon for Bermuda or what?
Yeah, so I mean, over the years we've had our street races started back in '98. We had 4 street races in the heart of the city, Hamilton. We had 4 back-to-back. I think it might have been 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, back-to-back races. Back then, they were only one day, so everything got done on Sunday. It was a big rush, but they were great events. The last one, I was 17 in 2002. So we had this long break, I think 13 years. We never had a street race. Wow, yeah. And then I became president, and I'm like, we're going back to street racing. Like, we have to do this. So I started the Dockyard Grand Prix, small track that you went to, and that was the first time that we ever raced in Dockyard.
That was fun.
And the club loved it. The spectators loved it. I mean,
they did. Yeah.
7,000 people over 2 days. The first time we ever did a 2-day street race, which was awesome.
But it's close racing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And the karts were there and the bikes were there. So there was this really cool thing for the people to see what was going on. But it was definitely close racing. It was so much fun. It was a great time.
For us as a club, it's a good way to showcase our sport to the rest of Bermuda. I mean, we do these street races, and even for a small island, we have people come up to you and they're like, I never knew karting was like, we thought they were just fun karts. And we're like, no, it was. So it's a great way for the Bermuda Karting Club to showcase to the whole island. So we actually did Dockyard 3 years, and then we went back to the city of Hamilton, which is our capital. That was the first time back there since 2002. So I think 14, 15-year break. We had a couple international guys came down. Greg Bell came down as a tuner. Mm-hmm. We had Tony Laporta come down and announce for us. Chris Enderline came down and tuned for me.
Yeah, Ron White.
Ron White was down. Yes, I mean, we pulled some international guys down, and we haven't street raced in the last 3 years. We took a little break. Committee's changing up. But if I have anything to do with the next season, we definitely will be going back street racing. It's great for our club to showcase, like I said. It's a great event for us. We love it. So, yeah, definitely, hopefully, 2021, we will be street racing again.
Well, I think, Skitch, obviously I got a chance when I was over there to see it firsthand. Like you said, 65,000 people on the island, and it's not an easy way for them to understand whether there's karting on the island at all, right? So when you take it to the city, you take it to the capital, whether it's right in Hamilton or at Dockyard, where there was so many people coming out to enjoy it, and then the media coverage, because like it was front page news on the newspaper as well. It was amazing.
Yes, Bermudians are hardcore racers, man. We love to race. Karting, bikes, boats.
Yep.
We're hardcore racers down here on this island. We love our racing. So when a street race like this happens, like I said, we were getting over 5,000 spectators. Imagine Rock Island with 4 deep around the whole track. That's what it's like for our street races, which is awesome.
And that's one of your first times actually going to a track by boat.
Yeah, it's the first time I ever had to go take a boat to the racetrack. It was awesome.
So hopefully, definitely 2021. We'll be street racing again. Hopefully, we want to invite some international drivers down. We had the last one we did in Dockyard. We had Austin Riley come down and race with us.
Mm-hmm.
He's moved on to cars now, so that was pretty cool. We've had one international driver, but fingers crossed.
Let's bring this one up, Dave. Tom Harleman. He's a race winner now from Newcastle Motorsports Park. He says, "I never raced a street race, but I'd love to do it there." Tom, I'm telling you.
David's got the arriving drives for you.
That's it.
You can be racing him on street race. CRG.
And that's the key, right? The beauty of that is if anybody does want to come over, like you said, it's tough to ship your stuff over there. You need to have the equipment that's there, and David's got stuff ready to go. And that's the key we're trying to hit. When you guys, even if you want to go over and have a vacation in Bermuda, go over, do some karting, have a rum swizzle, enjoy yourself. But the karts are there. When you roll in, you've got top quality machinery. It's an experience. It's an experience too. You're going to run a different track, a different country. That's the experience of a lifetime to be able to go there with the family.
Yeah, and it's great for, like I said, we only race on Sundays, so you can make it a long weekend. Kind of enjoy the island Friday and Saturday, and then race on Sunday back home on Monday. And David does a first class operation with his arrive and drive programs. All the karts are new. He is, they're all pristine. Everything's right. So you're not getting just a arrive and drive. I've done a lot of arrive and drives in the States before, and David's operation is first class.
We talked about we got Brickyard. What else we got for hashtag beat David Cole, hashtag beat Rob Howden? Maybe we need to have a Bermuda edition.
I have no problem. The carts are here. They're all ready to go.
I can speak firsthand about how well the CRG carts are with the 206 package. I mean, they're fast because I was faster than Rob throughout the Cup Karts Grand Nationals, and so that doesn't matter. But we will definitely, because I don't think he can drive it, because it takes a true driver to be able to drive one of these.
Wow. All right, Cole, you got some big shoes to fill, because Rob's been to Bermuda. He's been to our street race and and he's got the W.
Right over there, baby. Trophy's right over there. Trophy's right over there.
He came down and kicked all our guys his butts, and he took the checkered flag home with him. So,
hey,
he's got that up on you.
Here's the new T-shirt, though. If we're going to do this in Bermuda, here's the T-shirt. Hashtag beat Jeff Souza. Yes.
I think Jeff's watching right now. That's not too hard now.
We're taking Jeff down. He actually just said afternoon, fellas, but he's not going to like that at all. So
he's definitely been one of our big help on my end.
Yeah.
Getting karts ready for track days. I've also have all the guys, mechanics that come in on for the race days. So we have them one-on-one that work with the customer. I work alongside with all you guys. So if you have any technical issues,
that's awesome.
Need advice, I go on. I do it all hands on. Whatever it is.
David's got like 8 karts every race day down there. So, I mean, he comes home one day and he's working on karts literally for 2 weeks straight to get ready for the next race.
That's amazing. I love it. Shout out to you, David. Shout out to Jeff Souza as well. One of the top guys for sure. Let's wrap this things up, guys. Anything else you want to talk about potentially about the future of karting in Bermuda?
No, like I said, again, we want to invite everyone down next season. Our season starts in September. We run through May. Follow us on our Facebook page, Bermuda Karting Club. We want to invite any international driver down to come race with us, have a fun vacation, and get some karting in. Definitely hashtag beat David Cole, beat Rob Howden. When we go back street racing next year.
And one good thing is it's all family orientated.
Yeah.
So you actually enjoy what you do, and then you actually spread it right out to other families, kids. It's one big sport. That's one good thing.
And listen, I'll vouch for that, because when we were done racing both on Saturday and Sunday at the Dockyard race, the atmosphere in the paddock was awesome. Like, just, and to be honest, I want to say I got pinched and wrecked, I think, in the heat race or something like that. It was either heat or practice. Everybody dove into my cart, were pulling. It was awesome, man, just to have everybody jump in like that. It's definitely a family atmosphere for sure in Bermuda.
Yeah. Me and Scott have raced alongside for quite some time. We're fierce battles. At the end of the day, it is what it is. We leave it out on the track, and then we just go along with it.
So here's the deal, guys. The way the sport's kind of rolling right now is great. We have so many awesome places you can go. You can run the Indianapolis Motor Speedway with Battle of the Brickyard. You can go back to Quincy in the Park, iconic street race, right? If you want to have an experience in karting, you go to the Bermuda Kart Club. You spend a week out there, whatever it may be. You run the race. You spend some time on the beach. You hop on Sketchy's boat and go fishing a little bit, the Hakuna Matata. Like, it's just – that would be an experience of karting that I don't think anybody would have. And, of course, David, you can make it super easy for everybody.
Yep, I can. The hospitality that you have here, especially with Bermudians, they actually give everything they can straight out to anybody. It's the hospitality it's not doesn't put a price tag on it. You can have friends. You can have friends for the rest of your life just by doing a small little piece for the rest of your life. Goes a long way. That's
it. And if you're lucky, you can have fish livers with Scott's dad.
Yeah.
Not me. All right, guys, we're done. Hey, listen, appreciate you both coming on. Stay safe out at Bermuda. Again, folks, it's an experience you'd want to take. Trust me, I'll do it anytime. I've told Scott that. Anytime there's an opportunity for me to come back over to be part of the Bermuda Karting Club family, I would do it in a heartbeat. It's a ton of fun there. And as David said, the people are absolutely amazing. And I think that if we get a chance to do it again, we'll bring a bunch more international drivers over to make it fun. Guys, thank you so much.
Hey, I'm putting my money on Rob, just throwing that out there.
Oh, come on.
Good call.
Well, I got to work on Dave's card, so I'm going for
There
Dave.
we go.
You'll have to work a lot on it because he never finishes street races.
Hold on. Before I let them go, I won this year's bet with Skitchy. I beat him twice out of the 3 races we had together in the Ignite class. So
all right.
I won this year.
I didn't race one of those races.
But it doesn't matter. You didn't race, so I still win.
Guys, thank you so much for Bermuda. We appreciate it. You take care of yourself. We'll see you soon. Yeah. Super Nats for sure.
All right, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah. So David Cole, there you go. The Bermuda Throwdown. # beat David Cole. # beat Rob Howden. # beat Jeff Souza. So, of course, Jeff, I think the reigning champion in the 206 Masters category. So we'll have to go head-to-head with Jeff when we get out there. But Tom Harleman, definitely get a group over. Come over and run some races. I think that'd be fun, David. You'd love it. I'm telling you, the hospitality, the people in Bermuda, second to none. Amazing.
Yeah, we've been wanting to do this now ever since you had went to the Dockyard, and it's just our schedules haven't been able to align. You've had the IndyCar conflicts. I've had other things going on in my life to where I can't go or even bring Renee, because if I went alone, I'd come back divorced. So
that's true. Yeah.
So there's no way I'm going to do that. So. Yeah, we're hopefully, if not at the end of 2020, sometime in the beginning of 2021, we have spring break here where we're able to jet out and leave the kids, hopefully. So
yes, drop the kids off at the grandparents.
Oh, we've been with them for what, 9-10 weeks straight now. So it's time to get rid of them for a couple weeks here. And there.
I bet you're going crazy. All right, guys. Again, thank you so much for joining us here in this edition of Face to Face. We're lining up a couple more people for this week. Got a couple people already lined up for next week. It should be a couple of great shows coming up. We're going to delve a little bit into the sport, some of the history of the sport. We're looking at doing a happy hour with Howden pretty soon as well. We're thinking about bringing some of the world's worst photographers, motorsports photographers, on with us. It's karting, so we take what they give us. We really have no choice. So blurry or not.
Yes.
Todd McCall, blurryphotos.com.
Or from the same spot.
Yeah. We actually have to physically change the pictures ourselves and go in and out to have some different perspective because they're so bad at what they do. Lazy. That's coming. We're going to do a happy hour with Howden too, with some cocktails. So that you may want to send the kids to the babysitter for that one. We're going to have some fun. Otherwise, big thank you to both David Barbosa and Scott Skitchy Barnes from the Bermuda Karting Club and CRG Bermuda for joining us here today on Face2Face. Thanks, folks. Again, take care of yourself. We're going racing. Make sure to look at the updates on eKartingNews.com. David over there continues to update the that particular article, the status, kart club status. I'll let you know whether your club is racing, and we're looking forward to getting back at it. We should be having some more events opening soon. Thanks again, folks. Take care of yourself. Okay.